5 years. 5 long years it's been today since Austin was stolen from his safe, loving home with me. Maya Angelou wrote that there is no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside you. Well, I guess that's in tandem with having your child ripped from your home and your place ransacked, and your child to be held hostage for 5 years with no reason given. Just a bunch of lies and fabricated bullshit. No one should have the experience of horror Austin and I have lived in trauma for 5 years. He has not seen me or any of his family and friends. He hasn't been home. He hasn't been to our hometown. He hasn't seen any of his belongings or his clothes or his toys or his sports equipment or done any of the things that he used to do. Austin is just living in trauma and hell with a sociopath. Austin doesn't know the truth. He's being lied to and told that I don't love him. And Austin doesn't know how to get help. He's told that I don't want him and that he's not wanted. And Austin is threatened that if he doesn't behave, he'll be sent away to Europe, where he doesn't know anybody, because Alice Sellers, Wicked Witch of West Vancouver, can't stand Austin and hates him. I don't know, poor Austin is just living in hell and being lied to. I mean, I don't know anybody who would allow their child to be in that hell for 5 minutes. Never mind 5 years. And my poor little baby is stuck there in all that trauma that I already had to survive and fight to give him a life out of that hell. And for what? Just for somebody to take a payoff and stick him back there and stick me in that same hell again, where I'm praying for death every day again. Because who wants to live in a world where there's a price on their child's head? And everybody agrees that this is illegal and it shouldn't have ever happened. But because I don't have the money to pay anybody, they won't do anything about it. That's the disgusting world we live in, where people won't stand up against child trafficking. Austin is living in hell because I don't have the money to pay people to stand up for him. What would you do if you were me? How would you feel? Wouldn't you want people to help your child? 5 years of hell. even get to say goodbye to him. I just thought it would all be a big mistake and he'd be home in a few days. He didn't even get a choice to be put with family and friends, and he was forced to go with the bad people he said he was afraid of and he didn't want to go with, but nobody listened to him. He was a sociopath. Austin is forced to live with somebody who says they're gonna hire a hitman to kill me. I mean, how is that a safe environment? I mean, the list goes on and on about all the illegal things. And Austin and I are forced to live here, hostage in this horrible city. Like, look at me. Look at my face. I look like a drug addict from all these allergies, from not being able to have a clean home because I can't afford to live in this horrific city that's expensive and violent and unsafe. And everything keeps getting stolen from me all the time. They've cut off all of my funds because they took Austin. Yet I'm still paying his bills. They know I live in poverty because they cut off all my money and they still don't even pay his bills, yet they claim they're taking care of him. If they're taking care of him, then why am I paying his bills? And if they're taking care of him, then why can't he see or speak to anybody? If he's doing so well, then he should be capable of seeing and speaking to his friends and family and me. Even criminals and drug addicts at least get supervised visits or phone calls or any kind of communication. And everybody who looks at this case says this is disgusting, it's gross parental alienation, which is illegal. And there's absolutely no reason why my child should have been hostage from me. They didn't even call me and let him talk to me to calm him down. Instead, they just chain him up and keep drugging him until he complies to what they want. When he just wanted to be home with me. And nobody listened to him. And now he's being beaten and molested and yelled at and called names and told how he's not wanted and not loved. And threatened that he's going to be sent away because they don't want him and they don't like how he doesn't do what they want him to do every second of the day. And then I get these bullshit answers. Well, they don't even acknowledge my existence anymore. They just pretend that I don't exist. But before, they used to give bullshit answers like, well, we hope that's not happening. Really? Is that what saved me as a child? Was your freaking hope? Nobody does anything. Everybody just pretends that it's not happening. So what is he supposed to do? Become one of these women who gets put in jail for killing their spouse in self-defense because nobody took them seriously? Just like the Melendez brothers? Or what about the brothers in the nature versus nurture study where the government separated twins, and in this case, triplets, instead of placing them in families together when they were adopted out, they were all separated and lied to. And one of them couldn't handle the truth when he found out. When they all randomly found out when they were older. Because other people recognized the fact that there were 3 guys walking around that all looked like each other in the same kind of district. One of the guys killed himself because he couldn't handle the fact that he missed his entire life with his brothers. How do you think Austin's gonna react when he finds out how he was stolen for absolutely no reason and he didn't have to live in the hell that he's living in? This was just pure evil. Because people wanted to play games with his life for 5 years.